Hello and welcome to the 2015 British Masters. This highly competitive event draws in some of the top international riders. Today we'll see the likes of Trevor BREEN and Harriet NUTTALL battle it out for the £22,000 prize fund. And let's not forget last year's winner, David Simpson, who's back to try and reclaim his title. Let's go now and chat to some of the competitors to see what they're making of the class. Popular rider in the class later on is William Whitaker. William, lovely day for it today. You're looking forward to later on in the Grand Prix?
Absolutely, yeah, it's a great day. We've had good weather all weekend. There's been great competition, so I'm sure the Grand Prix will be a great class.
It has drawn in some top competitors, international class. Who do you like the look of out there?
Oh, there's a lot of, I think, you know, when you get an international show in England, you always get the top British riders. You know, my uncle Michael's here, Joe Clayton, previous winner, Billy Toomey, a previous winner. It's a good field out there, so I think, you know, half the class have a good chance. And
tell me a little bit about the horse that you've brought here today.
It's one actually of Michael's. It's called Ballyboo. It's one I haven't had for too long. It's gone well. I've just sort of took it steady in the beginning of the week with him, really aiming him at today. So hopefully, yeah, with a bit of luck this afternoon, we'll have a good chance.
David, sorry to interrupt you. I know you're watching. Last year's winner, how have you prepared for this year's Grand Prix and British Masters?
Well, this year I have a different horse, a fairly new horse to my string, Chessie. She's a really, really nice mare. We don't know each other so well, but I think she should have a good old shot today. I like her chances.
And I know you're back here to reclaim your title, but why do you come to Southview? Why is it important for you to attend this competition?
Well, I think it's brilliant in England to have more and more international shows, and I think when there's one on here, we all as riders need to support it, because it saves us having to go to mainland Europe, saves us the boat fare, and like the Britain family that run the show are really nice people. Charles works really hard, so they deserve our support.
And obviously coming back as last year's champion, feel a little bit of pressure on your shoulders this year?
No, I had a different horse this year, and I'd be happy to get a result. I really like the mare, so hopefully it goes well this afternoon.
Tina, it's great to see you here today. Who have you brought here for the competition?
Unique for this one. Yeah, I brought HELIOS for the other one, but they've been off the road for a bit, so it's their first international show for a year.
I was going to say, yes, haven't seen you out and about with Unique. What's wrong, and now back in action, fully recovered?
Yeah, just a few sort of niggling minor injuries, but now, you know, touch wood, everything's good. Jumped very well the other day on Friday, jumped double clear in the rankings class and finished 6th, and yeah, it feels really good.
And this is a perfect venue and a perfect competition to bring him back to?
Yeah, lovely venue, really good ground, yeah, really nice place here.
And there's a huge field, some top names in there. You're nearly one of the last to go. Will you be watching and seeing who's out there and competing?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, being late does help. You know, it is an advantage because you can watch how the course rides, the time, everything like that. So yeah, I'm pleased with my draw.
Harriet, you've actually decided not to compete today. Tell us why.
Not to compete in the Grand Prix. I only bought the 7-year-olds here because obviously a Touch Imperious jumped great in the Derby last week and he just needed a bit of a rest, so I bought like a B team that's coming up through that I wanted to do a couple of ranking classes on. So he jumped the first day and actually jumped clear, and that was his first ever ranking class, Galway Bay Jed, and really nice horse. He had one down in the jump off, but he kind of ran out of puff. He jumped really well, so I thought the Grand Prix was always going to be too testing for him, and yeah, no, so I just decided to call it a day.
The weather's looking good, and not far long before you go. How's your horse looking?
He's in great shape at the moment. He was very good last 2 weeks ago in Bolesworth, and a couple of weeks before in Lisbon. He was in great form. He won a big class there, so fingers crossed for today. There's
a lot of big names in this competition. Who do you think your main competitors are?
Yeah, there's a lot. Greg Broderick's in great form at the moment. Obviously, Michael Whitaker's here, Billy Toomey, David Simpson, last year's winner. It's going to be a tough course today, I think, and hopefully we can do well.
Every horse is different. Some horses like big open rings, and some, you know, cope in the small rings very, very well. Now this here has got quite a bit of a gradient on it, and it's quite close, but just so the fences can come up on you quite quickly. And that's when you decide really, you know, which shows you to take a certain horse to. You'll think, that'll suit that a bit more than the other.
The course walk has just started, and in true British style, the rain has started as well. Let me see if I can go out on course and chat to one of the riders about what it's looking like. Just been Trevor BREEN, Derby winner, who's just finished walking the course. Trev, first of all, congratulations on your Derby win. You must be delighted.
Yeah, absolutely thrilled. It's kind of sunk in a little bit now, but yeah, back different show, different kettle of fish. So yeah, out to try and do my best here as well.
Well, the rain has come down, the heavens have opened, but you've walked the course. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's quite a strong course. Yeah, as you can see, there's quite a bit of groundwater now, which will probably play a part. We haven't had this all week. It's been great, but you know, we'll trudge on and see what happens.
And any bits of the course that we should be looking out for? Any turnbacks or anything that we should be having a watch for?
Yeah, it's quite difficult throughout, really. The 3rd to 4th fence is a tall vertical there, down to the water jump. The water jump didn't jump terribly well the last day. A lot of horses had a look or stopped and had issues. So being so early in the course, that might cause a little bit of problems, or else they have to override that, and then the horse might get a little bit out of their hand and out of control. So that could just set the tone for the whole round.
And tell us a little bit, very quickly, I know you're getting wet, which horse have you brought here today?
The horse I ride today is GEORGIE EC. He's owned by Killian Brown, a guy in Ireland. He's only 9 years old. This is his first Grand Prix, so yeah, it'll be a good test for him, but he's well able. He's unlucky, one down in the 145 on Friday, so hopefully he can have a good round today.
And he'll be all right with the weather?
Hopefully, he's from Ireland, so he should be okay.
He'll be fine. Well, on the back of your recent success, good luck today, and look forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Trev. William, we spoke to you earlier before you walked the course, but things have changed a little bit. The heavens have opened. What does this mean for you and your horse?
Yeah, well, it makes it, conditions are a bit worse now. The surface actually at the moment seems fine, so yeah, it makes it a little bit less enjoyable, but you've got to get stuck in, haven't you?
And your horse will cope fine with these conditions?
Yeah, I would think so. Like I said before, I haven't had him so long, so I don't know him inside out yet, but yeah, hopefully he'll cope fine. It's not too bad at the moment, so see how it goes. And now you've walked the course, any problems out there? Anything you're looking out for? Yeah, I think it's a tough track actually. There's a, you know, it's quite big. It's quite big from early on. The water jumps early. So I think, to be honest, we'll see faults all over the course. Well, good luck in your round, William. We're going to hand over now to Nick Brooks-Ward to get the action.
Thanks a lot, Jenny. Yes, and well, let's hope he'll dry out in a moment, because he is due to join us here in the commentary box. But good luck to Tim Stockdale and his wife Laura's and Team Tougher's Erasmus van den Heffink. Horse he's had since September last year, and you can really hear the rain dropping. And as they get later on in the class, who knows what that will do. Shouldn't make a lot of difference on the all-weather surface. And there's the water jump early on in the course that William Whittaker was worried about. But Tim is absolutely fine now. Such a shame when the rain comes down for the major, the feature class of the show. Has been wonderful weather over the last 3 days or so. And we're going well. We're coming towards the last line. Time is 71 seconds. Under international rules, they've got to be under that 71. Otherwise, it's one-time penalty for every commenced 4 seconds. Treble combination. Oxer going in. Vertical in the middle. Oxer coming out. Now, one fence left to go. Good shot over the last. But he looks back, and the clock says it all, 71.54. It is a time penalty there for Tim Stockdale and Erasmus van den Heffink.
Well, hiding from the rain, I have found the wonderful Jeff Billington, who has decided he wants to be a little bit taller than me to make a change. Jeff, you were warming up there, now you've come to hide from the rain. How's your horse?
What?
It is pouring it down. How is he going to, if you have to go out and jump in this, because I think you're very early on in the class, how's he going to like this?
I don't know, he's never jumped in rain before. It's a long time since I have.
How do you think he's going to take to this?
He is spooky. He's frightened of the horses in the collector ring, so I'm glad of my draw. I've already warmed him up. Yeah. When he sees a horse coming towards him, he just wants to swizzle around and go the other direction, which is quite difficult. But with having an early draw, warmed up already, I'll have a couple of jumps and I'll go straight in.
Well, good luck. You're a little bit wet. I have no Superman costume coming out today, no change of clothes under there.
I've got this waterproof off the blacksmith next door to the collection ring.
Well, good luck in the class, and I hope it stops raining, because I'm pretty sure Conman's not going to like this.
Thanks, Jenny.
Cheers, Jeff. Oh. Now that's normal again now.
Geoffrey Billington. Well, and here is Julie Andrews and AYRTON the fourth. And welcome back, Tim. What a pity.
Oh, thanks, Nick. I was delighted with how Ben Erasmus jumped. He jumped a superb round. The time is unbelievably tight. I made one error, one slight miscalculation. That was enough. So that's going to be the topical factor today, I believe, not only the rain, but the time allowed.
It's a really strong field, and so often as we see, Tim, time is the last fence that the course designers have to use, but bad luck. But Julie Andrews, AYRTON the fourth, going really well here. She's had some super results, jumped on a Nations Cup this year.
Been going really well, Nick. I mean, this is actually a naturally quick horse anyway. And you see there, Julie's really throwing down the gauntlet. She went 6 strides there. I actually went 7 there. So she's very aware that the time's tight. Keep the balance for this combination. 2 steps, a little bit short, and then a big push out. And then they've got to remain careful for this last vertical.
Brilliant round, though. Look at the time. And it is tight because Julie, as you said, went on 7. Well, on 6, and you went on 7, and she's still just, what,
on a quick horse.
On a quick horse.
On a quick horse. That exactly says the same. This is a very tight time allowed.
And there's the weather. Beautiful sunshine at the start of the class. But join us for more from the British Masters after the break. Welcome back, and there's our poor cameraman standing up on there, and here's Geoffrey Billington and Conman JX. Not the easiest of rides, Tim.
No, he's a young horse, a little bit sharp. You heard Jeff saying at the start of the programme that he has difficulty warming him up because he doesn't like other horses coming towards him. But an immensely talented horse, and you see the amount of scope that he's got. He's a real top horse for a top class one day, but he's in the making still.
Jeff just using all his experience there just to settle Conman down.
But getting him balanced again, jump that, and look at the scope coming out. That's excellent. Oh, another big pull. This might be costly.
Geoffrey! Oh. Now what's the time? 2 time.
Long ways over. Long ways over. That. Looking after the younger horse round there, he's paid for it in his time.
Yes, but he'll take a lot out of that. He's got it home clear over a Grand Prix track, so that's good news. Now Nick Bentiman, the man who won down in Wales and the West, Zorlandi.
It's not often you see the judges allowing the riders to wear weather gears, and that just goes to show how wet it is.
They didn't allow you, did they?
Soggy away here, soggy Stockdale, I'm afraid. Again, pushing on there on that 6 strides after that triple bar down there to that wide Oxer. Got to balance him here. 6 strides to the combination. Oxer in, parallel, quite wide, a little bit short, and then again another big push. That's also disconcerting, the puddles. Let's have a look.
And it's good, but only just good.
Yeah,
69, 69, but that's fine.
You saw him riding through the finish almost like he was in a jump off there.
So that's 2 clears, definitely through to the jump off. Now the reigning champion on a new partnership, Chessie 17, David Simpson for Ireland.
Looks a lovely model of a horse.
Does, doesn't he? She, rather.
Breaks the back in the right way, and that's so important for modern show jumper. They've got to be athletic. It's not just all about power.
And Tim, while we're watching David go over that Oxer, with the rain, that could play a really important part as the course goes on, couldn't it? As the runners go on.
It could. I mean, the draw is everything in these Grand Prix, not only just for riding the course, but obviously conditions. But the thing is, I'm still quite surprised how much water is lying on top. And if we get another shower during the course, which it looks out the window, that there's you know, oh, that was a really late faller.
Oh, David.
That was really late in the fall. He would feel very unlucky there. Last fence. I think time again is an issue here.
Yeah.
Oh, very close. Look, just
very close.
Yep.
Just inside, but that one fence down there for David Simpson.
just on the turn. It looks a little bit like he was still turning in the air.
Roll,
Rolls to the edge
down.
of the cup, yes.
Alice Watson. What a win she had at Hickstead in the Derby meeting down there with the Billy horse, Billy Lemon. Lovely story about this partnership. She couldn't afford a top-class horse. She went to the Billy Stud. She bought this horse as a 5-year-old, and now look at her. She's winning international rankings classes.
Very talented young lady, to be frank. She's really very competitive, and horses believe in her, you know. And she's been about the circuit, but now she's taking that next step. And she's really doing a great job.
Lady from the West Country. And if they get through, there'll be a partnership against the clock to watch out for, because they are super quick.
You can see the naturally quick nature of the way that Billy Lemon goes, and that makes Alice's job a little bit easier in situations like this, because the clock can become secondary. Oh, that was quite forward there. That was a little bit risky. Oh, trying again. You saw him just move his body away there. Just jump the last, Alice.
Brilliant. The time won't be a problem. Let's have a look at the clock. 68.62.
There you go. Made a mincemeat of the time allowed. Made everybody else look like they were going slow.
Reminds me of Angelique Horn and Blau Andrade O'Brien in the Olympic Games when she came in and flew round, and then everybody had a real trouble to make the time. But now it is Anthony Condon.
Horse by Arco. Big jumper, looks a lot like him.
Jumped really well at Bolesworth, this combination.
I think a certain horse for the Grand Prix of the future.
The Hales is Aristo.
Anthony's also a talented rider. He's served his apprenticeship with Billy Toomey. He's got a lovely style about him and goes in the right way, tries to do his job in the right fashion. I've got a slight worry about the time allowed at this stage. It just looks a little bit like there's a bit of time spent in the air. That was good. He made the 6 strides there. It's an option, 6 or 7. He made the 6, so he's obviously thinking about tempo.
And I was just sitting back listening to you about the time, Tim. You look at the front legs. Doesn't that remind you of Arco jumping over a fence? It's the same shape.
Yes, yes. One more to the
Lovely.
last.
74.58.
3.5 seconds over the time allowed there, and you wouldn't have said he was going super slow. It's just the nature of that horse's way of going was a little slower than, let's say, Alice's.
So now the man from Cheshire, Keith Shaw, who has had a tremendous run of form. Bolesworth in Austria, in Abrixdorf. He has been jumping unbelievably. Mystic Hurricane.
One thing I can tell you about Keith, he won't even know it's raining. He spends his winters out in the
Cheshire country,
Hunterfield, and for him this will be just a normal day, so the rain won't be causing him any issues.
And I don't think I'm going to be worried about the time when it comes to Keith Shaw and Mystic Hurricane.
So far, taking all the nice level steps, always looks in good rhythm. Horse with tremendous... Ooh,
Keith.
That's a very tight turn back. He's got a lot of confidence there in the scope back to a triple bar.
Now, they'll have seen that in the collecting ring here, Tim, and they'll be watching and they'll be thinking, they'll have walked it, they'll have looked at it, but they'll have thinking, hello, he's done that one.
That's quite an audacious turn to a triple bar, big triple bar as well, and you're only giving the horse 1 step, so you've got to have a lot of faith in the horse's ability.
Clear so far. Lovely shot. Oh, Keith Shaw looks back. He doesn't need to worry. Not with that turn inside. Look at the time, 69.27. 1.8 seconds inside that time allowed. Well done, Keith. Mystic Hurricane. So there's the table. There are the 4 clears, and it is all for Great Britain. Alice Watson, Keith Shaw, Julie Andrews, and Nick Benterman. Clear round so far in the Harvey's Grand Prix. James Smith, another who enjoyed a fabulous show at Bolesworth.
Big scopy jumper, this one. Jumps a little unorthodox in that he's a little bit straight in the head and neck, and if you see his back, it doesn't quite use in the same way. Also, fraction bit slow in the way he goes, but he has got a very big stride.
It's a long stride.
Yeah, and what James can do very well is he can take steps out as he's going around the course, which is where he saves on the time. But he'll have to be moving here today.
And guess what, Tim? It looks to me like it's stopped raining outside.
Well, we've had enough for the dust anyway. Let's put it that way.
How's your jacket?
It's not so much my jacket that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Oh, got a little bit close to that. Also jumping a good round here, though. Tried to shave a few extra centimetres off the turn there. Jumped that really on the angle.
Oh, James. Yep.
Ran out of room there. You know, he's talked about the big stride. Just ran out of room at the end of that combination line.
Such a shame for James Smith. And one for time. You were spot on, Tim. They are making it difficult. That time allowed of 71 seconds. And in here, as you said, just ran out of room.
And you can see him drifting a little to the left. But again, you see the technique of the horse is a little upside down. Makes that difficult for him to jump that way.
Matt Sampson. Wow.
New horse for Matt. Big jumper. Like him a lot.
I do too.
Seen him this week, and he's certainly turning a few heads. And Matt's a competitive lad, you know, and give him the right tools, he'll be right there at the front end of the lineups.
He always has been competitive, even when he was in ponies and then juniors and young riders.
Well, the one thing for sure in this sport is that the competitive nature comes through, and Matt's a good competitor.
Super jumper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's well ridden as well around that turn. Little bit of a rub there. Just got to watch here and keep him straight.
So 4 clears, definitely going through to the jump off so far.
I'd have half an eye on with the time here. He was a little bit round at that corner there, and this is so tight this time allowed. You're not afforded any spare. Great shot in, propped in the middle. Should be clear.
Yeah, but we'll... and the last goes. It's immaterial now. Bad luck there, Matt. Just inside that time, so he's into the lower placings, but bad luck there for Matt Sampson.
It's a big vertical, this one, the last fence. You saw the horse was a little bit on the inside line. And look at the young lady putting that up. You know, that's a big fence.
Big fence right at the top. Join us for more from the British Masters. Welcome back to the British Masters. It is the Grand Prix, the Harvey's Grand Prix, and the sun has come out. And those are the 4 clears so far. Alice Watson, Keith Shaw, Julie Andrews, who gave us the first, and Nick Benterman. Still plenty more to come. 10 riders, and they're all within a chance in this, the Harvey's 2-star Grand Prix. And the clears, it is the clears that go through to the jump off against the clock. Will Whittaker. Ballaboo, as we heard him say earlier, Tim, a new combination, new partnership. And I think William could be in with a chance.
It's a nice big horse, this one. It certainly suits William's style. William's very quiet on a horse. He likes to let the... Oh! A little bit of inexperience off that turn there. Didn't really have his eye on the fence. And as a result, early doors has a fence on the floor.
Well, I was going to say that William earlier on in his interview with Jenny was saying the water is early on in the course. He wouldn't have been thinking about that amount of his experience, would he?
No, but I think, again, news partnership, he's not quite sure how it's all going to pan out. And they do come out quick and fast here at Southview. You know, it's a very square arena. It's not oblong, it's square. And as a result of which, you slightly have different lines. And Mr. Vos from Holland has made a very good test, I believe, all week this week, and getting horse and riders to really think about where his placement's been.
And well done to Charles Britton. Williams deciding enough's enough, save this partnership for another day. But well done to Charles Britton for bringing in a Dutch course designer.
Yeah.
Now the Derby winner, Trevor BREEN, Georgie Devray. And jumping in his first two-star Grand Prix.
He's on a really big role at the moment, isn't he, Trevor? I mean, not only with Bolesworth.
Second in that Grand Prix there, and then the following week went on to Hickstead.
Yeah, but that court there, the water just kept travelling on there. It's a big 6 strides down there, but the horse just kept travelling in the trajectory, didn't really back up when he got there. But this is all about producing other horses, you know, and sometimes you have to jump these horses in the Grand Prix to test their mettle, to see where they are. You cannot keep going back to your old campaigners.
No, you can't.
You need to have strength in depth, as it were, and that's where Trevor is today, finding out more about this horse.
And there is an old saying, isn't there, that confidence breeds success, and my way, this man is very confident at the moment because he's had tremendous success.
This sport's all about confidence. Horse and rider working together, and you saw there, having the middle part of that combination. This is a horse that will learn from this and go on to fight for another day.
No doubt about that. But it is 12 jumping and the one-time penalty there, so they're finishing on 13, but never mind, Trevor. Definitely another one for another day.
This is actually quite a difficult fence. It's a little bit blind after the double, and a more inexperienced horse can make that easy mistake there.
Mr. Darcy and Louise Saywell. Ladies had wonderful success on the county show circuit so far.
Very experienced combination, and even as I'm saying it with Louise, you wonder about that, but actually she's been to the World Team Championships in Barcelona. She had a very good horse in Hello Winner, and she was predominant all on the European circuit, so she's more or less, you know, one of our more seasoned campaigners, let's say. This horse has also been around the block a couple of times. He's a very useful horse, and he really is forging a good partnership here with Louise.
We've had our bit of luck.
Yeah, he's just got to watch here because of the fact she's got to keep moving on for the time allowed, that he just doesn't get a little too forward in his jump, and then as a result of which just strokes one on the way up. He's fighting a little bit for the bridle.
Could be in here, Tim. Oh, Louise.
Yes. So there was running a little to the right-hand side to try and give himself more room, and paid the penalty for just taking too much on.
You could actually see that coming, maybe a fence before, but it is bad luck, and another with a good time. But bad luck there, Louise Saywell and Mr. Darcy.
Big jump in here, but look, trying to anchor him, but head comes up and the body goes forward.
Head comes up, it goes flat. Jeff Luckett, Constant the second. Another who's had some really good results.
Absolutely tomatoed the first day here, I can assure you.
Really?
Oh, I was double clear place. I think he was 6 seconds faster than me to win it.
Yeah, but he used to ride motorbikes for a living.
Well, let me tell you, he was very fast. And
Jeff.
Now, that was strange. I think the horse was a little bit to the left-hand side there, because as Jeff landed, he had to almost swerve right then. So whether or not the horse was distracted by the water ditch behind, I'm not so sure. Again, very useful combination. As a partnership, they're very prolific in the way that they go about their job and have a lot of success.
But here's a man that has been to the top of his sport and has now found another string to bring him back up there, Tim, and that's a great story.
Well, experience. Oh, that was a bit of a funny jump there. The horse almost seemed to jump a little bit half-hearted. Whether I thought it was another step there, I don't know. But it was quite a strange jump out of that.
Well, his day is done, I'm afraid. Bad luck there, Jeff Luckett. And here's the one that you were watching.
Whether or not just jumps to the left-hand side, and as a result of which, almost collides into the wing.
Michael Whitaker, Helios. Not often you see Michael jump in this country, is it?
Again, it's great to have Michael here this weekend, you know, because, like you say, he's normally busy on the continent, but to come up here with a number of younger horses, it's great to have him here this weekend. But time allows, and Michael don't really go hand in glove, to be frank. He's a little bit of a perfectionist in his art, the way that he rides his horses, and time allows can be his Achilles heel. I think even he would admit that.
Yes. We don't want to mention the World Cup at Olympia, do we?
Where there's lots of instances
so
with
loads,
Michael.
yeah.
He needs to be thinking about the time, because he can just start to. He tries to balance his horses so much, and maybe takes the odd stride or two more.
But then you get him in the jump off. Ah!
Now you saw there the horse was a little bit dishevelled on the landing, whether or not he just didn't quite finish off his jump.
But what I was about to say, before Michael had that fence down, was you get Michael against the clock and there is none finer, really.
That's when he's riding on pure feel.
And adrenaline. Bad luck, Michael. One time as well. So you were absolutely right there, Tim.
Jumps a little bit again to the left here, look, and then sort of comes down onto the jump. Whether or not he was just a bit unbalanced on takeoff, I probably believe he was.
Now we heard from this lady earlier, Tina Fletcher, the Harrison Kirkham's Unique the 9th.
I heard Tina say he'd been off with an injury, and it's good to see this horse back, because he's been a prolific winner for Tina, and he has his own way of doing things. And you know, we could talk all day long about his shape and frame, but the horse is a real fighter
and a real jumper,
and actually really loads of jump and scope.
Huge jump and scope, this combination.
See there, just breaks up and goes to the back rail. Again, just got to be careful of the time, that even though that he is naturally quick, be careful not to overdoing it. She's moved up there. She actually thought about moving
She's
up
just
on the
pushed
step.
on.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, Tina.
This is a difficult combination
Yes.
for this horse.
Ooh.
There you saw. Made actually a little bit lucky going into in, and last fence
And
as
the
well.
last fence as well, jumping it on the angle.
Shame, because it was really looking a
Really
clear
looking
round.
good, the last
Yeah.
two go. Tina goes out with 8.
Has a rub in the middle. Now it's got to go to the back rail, and it comes down on the front foot on the back rail there.
So now from Ireland, Greg Broderick.
Greg has been here all weekend, and this horse has really turned heads. He's a massive jumper, and if you watch him jump, it's all very easy for him. And he jumps out of a very smooth tempo as well. It's very
supple.
Yeah, very nice and very effortless. It's raw power. Greg rides lovely, beautiful technique. A little bit inexperienced at this level, so that might be a factor today. And silly little things like puddles and things like that all did the turn inside.
Same turn, exactly the same turn
as Keith Shaw did, yeah. So again, he's very much believing of his scope and ability, and he's a great believer that the horse has got the jump to jump that type of jump off a very tight turn.
That was silky smooth, that turn to the water tray underneath.
You're going to be
big
short
vertical.
A to B. This is going to be short.
Oh, Greg.
Up.
One to go.
Sit tight.
4 clears so far. Oh!
Said that before, that last fence is a big one. It comes up quick. I think the horse got a little bit close to it. Didn't quite, jumped it really well in front. Didn't quite finish off behind. And whoa, that was so unlucky. Watch here. A little bit close on it. Jumps nice, but didn't finish off behind and strokes it off.
So 4 clears definitely through to the jump off in the Harvey's Grand Prix here at the British Masters. Still to go. Billy Toomey, TINKA'S Serenade, Nigel COUPE, Jubilee the third, and Joe Davison, Venute. Join us for the final phase and the jump off after the break. Welcome back, and the sun has come out, the people have come out, and we've got an action-packed last 20 minutes, 25 minutes here of the Harvey's Grand Prix here at Southview. Billy Toomey for Ireland. Sue Davis is TINKA'S Serenade.
Well, this horse and rider, what can you say? Billy Toomey and TINKA'S Serenade, they've won all over the world.
All
Paris,
over the world.
They've jumped to Olympic Games. Oh.
Third fence goes. Well done, Tim.
The commentator, well, I wouldn't say that I've got a vested interest, but in this I have.
You have, because you're lying fifth at the moment, I suppose.
I wasn't going to mention that, but yes, I'm still in the very good money at the moment.
With that one-time penalty, Mr. Stockdale.
He did jump a very good round, and the old man was just a bit slow. But going back, TINKA'S Serenade, Billy Toomey, fantastic partnership.
Interesting that. He knows he's had a fence down. He knows there's money down the line. He's come in tight to try and get the fastest four faulter.
Yeah, that's an old head, isn't it? Knowing the job, being very aware of the situation now. He wants to be the fastest four faults and get some prize money that's at the better end of the scale.
Of the scale. £22,000 is the prize money here for the Grand Prix. And there's money all the way down the line. And the last goes.
Yeah.
So now it's all gone, hasn't it? Look at the time, 67.92. He would have been sixth. £1,600, but the last fence goes. Bad luck, Billy.
Cruel sport, this one.
Yep.
And look here, just jumps a little bit. Yeah, opens up the front end, didn't quite snap away. Number 3, probably a bit early.
Nigel COUPE, the man from Lancashire, and Jubilee the third.
Seen a little bit of Nigel just lately. We were both together up at the Royal Highland, where indeed Nigel was placed in the Grand Prix on this horse. It gets better every time I see it jump.
And isn't it great, Tim, that Nigel has been selected to represent Great Britain back on a team after such a long time away from the Nations Cup Series?
It's also a credit to our system, because Nigel's predominantly been at the stairways and
the county shows.
The county shows, and now the national internationals, if you like.
Yep.
Doing well and punching, well at his weight, and so he's getting the call up onto international duty, and I think that's a real fillip for our system and for any rider that wants to know how to get onto teams. He's taking money out of my pocket at the moment.
He is, bad luck, Tim.
It's a little bit skillful riding here with this horse. He's a little bit, needs to be very, very quiet with
Nigel.
it. Oh. That's going to work for him.
Oh.
Just got the last to jump now, Nigel.
Come on, Nigel.
Nearly made too much of that angle there. Tried to get that right and ended up getting too close to it. And the one time, yeah, it shows how tight this time is. You saw when Nigel's gone a long way out there to get this right and just runs out of room, gets far too close.
Shame, Nigel. So now Joe Davison.
This should suit this horse.
Team Harmony's Venut, and it should.
Quite a fast little horse in his natural way of going. Joe can ride him in the right tempo to still get inside the time allowed. Joe's come on a lot.
He really has.
Yeah, he must.
From the young riders all the way through the world class, and now very much focusing, and is punching at his weight in the Grand Prix.
Yes, and doesn't look like he's getting overawed by these bigger competitions now. Looks like he feels that he should be there in his own right, and very competitive. Nice lad as well.
Really good.
Obviously inherits a lot of the riding skill and feel from his dad.
And his mother.
Yes, that's right, of course.
Four-time Olympian Richard Davison.
Just got this last line to jump here now. Just don't want to get up too quick. Little bit of a hurry, yes. Almost a little too hurried into that combination.
Too fast coming around the corner. And jumps the last. Now, what's the time, Tim?
There you go.
67.39, he had 3 seconds.
Easily inside that time allowed. He didn't need to just keep pressing like that. Look here, horse a little bit forward, jumps a little bit at it. It doesn't back off at all. And I think that's just the fact of needed just to take a little bit more time.
Well, that's it for round one here at the British Masters, and the weather conditions have proved very testing for horse and riders. The time allowed also meant that some of the biggest names in the competition went out in the first round. Billy Toomey, Michael Whitaker, Shane Breen, all knocked out. Only 4 have gone through into the jump-off. So let's go back to Nick and Tim, where they'll be following the action.
Thank you, Jenny. And those are the 4 clears. Jumping in their order of go. Julie Andrews gave us the first, then Nick Benterman, already the winner of an international Grand Prix in this country, won it in Wales. Then Alice Watson, she'll be one to look out for in the jump-off. And then the master against the clock, Keith Shaw. Julie Andrews gets us underway with AYRTON the fourth.
This is a difficult one because she knows she's got two fast ones at the end.
And the rain's come down, Tim.
Oh, no, I can't believe it. I just thought it was going to be just keep fine for this jump off, and the heavens have started to open. Got to keep it together. She's got to post the clear, but obviously mustn't allow too much space so that they can do the time easily. Oh, that was a quick run through there.
Little scamper off the corner.
A little bit of balance now required. That's better. Got him back on the right leg. 5 strides there. There we go. Good round.
That sets the standard, doesn't it? 45.91.
With the rain coming, you can see the rain now. You can hear it on the commentary box.
On the commentary box and on the mics outside. The poor cameraman. Everybody's getting soaked. But there's 3 to go. Nick Benterman, Zorland D.
Lovely big jumper. Nick's certainly given it a good go. Let's have a look now. Wouldn't naturally think it'd be as fast as AYRTON.
Yeah, but it's the stride, isn't it?
This jump, of course, does have a couple of turns in it. I must say that maybe the more sharper and bloodier horse will make that turn easier than maybe a bigger horse which might need a bit more room to get through. This being one of those turns. It's very tight back to there. See Nick there just giving him a little bit of... nothing more than just say, go on, you've got to go across this. Yes, got to go across this. It's a good round.
Not going to do the time, Tim, I don't think.
No.
No. 46.60.
Good round, but not going to be fast enough to challenge.
Into second with 2 to go. And you know that those 2 that are coming are going to really push against the clock, both of them.
This is awful.
Here we go, here's the first of them, Alice Watson and Billy Lemon. Won her very first rankings class at Hickstead 2 weeks ago.
Got to be careful that she doesn't overdo it, that she doesn't go too fast. Knowing that she's got a quick horse, it's very easy to go too quick. Oh, that was a very tight turn. Good girl, Alice. Just keep the rhythm. Let this natural speed be there.
24.5 out of the double.
Oh, she's turned back inside. Oh, wow. That was some ambitious turn, I must say. I didn't even see that one.
Well, it didn't make any difference to you, Tim. Yeah, one time, but look at the clock, 41.66. 4.5 seconds quicker. She had no reason to do that.
Well, I think
Is
she's
that
probably...
because Keith coming
That's
behind?
what she's thinking, Keith behind, and maybe she's opened the door for him. This is a very tight turn, I must say.
If she'd have got away with that...
Yeah, the horse tried his heart out there. You see how much he threw Alice up. And she knows that she's maybe left that door open.
Here we go. Keith Shaw, the last to go. Time to beat, 45.91.
Weather conditions suit Keith. It's as far as he's concerned.
It's a sunny day in Cheshire to him.
You know, maybe a little bit moist, but that's about it. Oh, that was a good turn. Oh. That was a super turn. He's 2 strides up already, I believe, on AYRTON and Julie Andrews. What's he going to do here? Is he coming inside? Is he going round?
He's going
round. Yeah. Tight.
Tight.
And moving. I think he's up.
I think he's 2 seconds quicker.
Oh, that was tight as well. 5 to the last. You've got to wait for this.
Go, Keith. Brilliant. There's your winner. And richly deserved 44.77. A second and a half quicker. Keith Shaw raises his hat. Quite right too. Mystic Hurricane wins the Harvey's Grand Prix here at Southview in the British Masters. He is the British Masters champion.
Oh, that's a fantastic result, you know. And last to go, a lot of people would say, well, that's the easiest place, but it's not. He knows what he's got to do, but at the same time, he's got to try to do it and not overdo it. That was a fantastic ride.
So well done indeed to Keith Shaw. He wins the Grand Prix, Mystic Hurricane. Julie Andrews from the first draw goes second. Nick Benterman's Zorland D in third. Alice Watson, Billy Lemon in fourth. And Tim, bad luck, in fifth. Fabulous jump off. Fabulous result.
Keith, blistering clear round there to win the class. You must be delighted with Mystic Hurricane.
Yeah, he jumped good really. Last week he was fourth at Bowlsworth, so yeah, good.
and not many through into the jump-off, only 4. How did the conditions affect you and your horse? Because
I nearly didn't jump it, actually. He doesn't really like puddles normally, so it was actually a good result for him to actually cope with the puddles.
And the time proved very tight for everyone, but this horse here didn't struggle.
No, I turned inside to the triple bar in the first round. That's the only way I could get inside the time allowed, I think.
Did you get to manage to see anyone go for you in the jump-off?
I watched them all, really, out the corner of my eye.
And change your plan at all?
No, same plan. Same plan, so, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
you
you.
are British Masters Champion 2015. You must be delighted.
Yep, very good.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, that's it from us here at the British Masters. Despite the very testing weather conditions and a tight time, Keith Shaw gets the win with the fabulous Mystic Hurricane. That's all from us. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next time.